A busy school or college has a large number of events and meetings that it wants staff to be aware of. The best way to make sure this happens is to put all the details relevant to each member of staff into their own personal electronic calendar. If you use Microsoft Outlook, then our academic calendar add-in can do this for you. One person will enter the data into Academic Calendar's setup data screen, and everyone else will get the benefit in their own calendars. In this short demonstration, I'm going to show you how that happens. This is Outlook showing an empty calendar, and this is the Academic Calendar ribbon bar. I click on the Setup button to get the setup data form. For the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to assume that the data has already been entered, the options for the school year, the terms, the events, the sessions. This demonstration is not about how you enter the data, but how you share it. There are step-by-step guides to entering the data on the how-to pages of the website. First, a quick look at the terms. You can see that there are effectively 6 term blocks, though you may still think of them as 3 terms with half-term holidays. If I wanted appointments created for these terms in my own calendar, I would go to the Outlook tab and click the button. However, I've already done that. Today I'm interested in getting the appointments into other people's calendars, so I will close the form, which saves the data. I'll click the Send Data to a Colleague button. This form appears and allows me to specify what to send. To start with, I'm going to keep it simple and just send the term dates. The box below shows me the message that will be shown to recipients when the data arrives. I just add a little message of my own, and I can preview the message as the recipients will actually see it by clicking this button. There we are, that's what they'll get. What I hope is a reassuring message from me to encourage them to click yes and create the diary entries in their own calendar. So now I'm going to send the message. And this message pops up to tell me that an email is being prepared with the data as an attachment. You can see the attachment. That has all the data. All I have to do is enter the email address or addresses of the person or persons I want to have the data. I could enter one or more email addresses, but I've already set up an Outlook distribution list for all, there it is, staff. That contains the email addresses of all the staff in the establishment. That's something you can set up in Outlook. A note of caution here, don't send anything out to all staff before you have tested the effect on your own computer. Just address the email to yourself and to 1 or 2 colleagues and double check that the result is as you intended before sending it to absolutely everybody. But for now, I'll keep things simple and send this email. Okay, now I'm at Wayne's computer looking at his empty calendar. ACAL monitors incoming email in case anyone sends you data. When it arrives, this message pops up. I read the message and it tells me that Mike, who is the deputy head or the system manager or someone like that, has sent me data. That sounds fine, so I click the OK button, and there in my timetable are all the dates. The dates are in. I can't see them yet because I'm looking at June. If I move forward, there they are. Term date entries act like headings and show the structure of the school year. Term dates are straightforward, but events can be a little more complex. Here is the top of a long list of events. It could be the whole of the school calendar. In fact, I've just entered the school calendar for September, the first month of the year. Now I could do the same as I did with term dates and send them out to everybody, but I don't want to clutter their calendars up with things that are not relevant to them. You'll have your own policy on how much detail to give all staff. For the sake of this demonstration, assume I have sent the full list to the senior leadership team members, and now I want to send a reduced list to everybody else. These tick boxes enable me to show columns which are optional and are currently hidden. I'm going to show the Include column. An extra column has appeared here, Include, with many of the boxes ticked. I'm going to make sure they're all ticked, and then I'm just going to untick the SLT ones. Quick tip, instead of looking for them all through the rows, I'm going to click to sort on subject. That brings all the SLT ones together, so I scroll down. There they are. I can can just make sure that all the SLT ones are unticked, and then I can click on Start to resort them in the proper order. Now I can close and send the data to a colleague. I'm going to send event, and I'm going to send it. And off it goes. That's it. When the data arrives, only the events that have the Include column ticked will be included in the process that creates the appointments. Using this approach, I could be much more selective and send out different sets of diary dates to different people. You don't have to worry that duplicates will be created, as Academic Calendar always checks whether a potential appointment already exists before creating it. That means I can send out the same list with a few updates, and only the new items will be made into appointments in the calendar. Back to Wayne's calendar. There are all the events added except for the SLT meetings, and here it is in Work Week view. First week, second week. The great advantage of having these entries in their personal calendars rather than separate calendars is that if staff sync their calendars to a phone or tablet, as many do, then all the dates you want them to be aware of are right there at their fingertips. One last thing. If I use the Manage Many Calendars wizard, which will be the subject of some other videos, I can import staff timetables and use a similar process to create all the relevant appointments. And I've done it. And here we are, still looking at the second week of term, and there are all his appointments. If I go to look at a day view, as a typical day. So that's it, an introduction to the features of Academic Calendar that let you share data among one, several, or the whole staff of your institution. There are more details, including full instructions of how to do most of the things I've skimmed over in this demonstration, at the website.